All right, so we came out here to Walmart and we met Wolfman. Yes. So nice to meet you, Wolfman. You were telling us some awesome things. Can you share a little bit what you were just telling us?
Yeah, when I was in the Army, I was out in the field and it was nighttime and I was kind of looking at the moon. It was kind of full and I did a wolf call. It sounded pretty good, so I did it again. And next thing I know, here come my company commander and said, "Did you see any wild animals out here?" I told him no. I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, we either heard a coyote or a wolf out here." I said, "I did too, sir." I said, he said, "Well, did you see it?" I said, "No." He said, "Did you hear it?" I said, "Sorta, kinda." He said, "What you mean, sorta, kinda?" I said, "You talking about the wolf sound?" I said, "That was me." He said, "Well, what you mean that was you?" I said, "Well, I'm the one that did the wolf call." He said, "What, you got some kind of box or something that do?" I said, "No, sir, I did it myself." He said, "Can you do it again?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said to me, "Here." I go,
That's
he said,
awesome.
"Hey, that sounds pretty good." He said, "You do it again?" I did it again. And then here come the captain and a lieutenant, some sergeant, to see what we're going to pack up and move back into the barracks because there was wild animals. He said, "No." He did. He said, "Do it for him, Wolfman." I went, "Ooh." He said, "From now on, I'm going to start calling you Wolfman." So I started using the name Wolfman. And when I finally got out, I kept saying it. And I just say, "Well, hey, that sounds pretty good." And the next thing I know, I met Big Chuck and Little John, and they asked me, they said, "What's your name?" I said, "Wolfman." They said, "Wolfman?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why they call you Wolfman?" Then I did my wolf call. So John looked at Chuck, Chuck looked at John. He said, "We got to have you on the show."
That's
so I was on
awesome.
their show every Halloween for 15 years. And when the movie was over, he had me come up, introduce me to the audience. And this is a good friend of ours from Akron, Ohio. He's a police officer, and his name was Wolfman. He said, "Show him why they call you Wolfman." And when I did, I said, "Ooh."
That's
He
awesome.
said, "Oh, man," everybody liked it. And so when I went back to sit down, everybody said, "Hey, can we have your autograph?" I said, "Yeah," so I kept saying it and saying it. I said, "Well, let me go." I told the wife, I said, "Let me go and go ahead on and legalize it." So now I legalized it. Now my first name is Wolfman E. Boyd.
So
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
We love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right. Thanks, Wolfman.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed meeting Wolfman and talking to him for a little bit before and after the recording. And Wolfman, if you see this, we love you and we hope that you are doing well. And for everyone else, come back. We love you too, and we'll see you soon.